Hey church, Pastor Shane here, another community group discussion starter video. We started this week actually reading through the Joseph story in the book of Genesis in a series we called God Meant It for Good, which is all about Joseph, who is of the line of Abraham, of the line of Israel, who's actually sold into slavery, betrayed by his brothers and brought into slavery. But God uses that to raise up Joseph into a position where he can save his family from famine and continue the line of God. It's a really amazing story, really encouraging, but the first chapter is a little bit troubling because we're introduced to Joseph. He's daddy's favorite boy. He's got the coat of many colors, but his brothers hate him. His brothers hate him because Joseph calls them out when they do something wrong and tells their father when they do something wrong, and they also hate him after he tells this dream where it seems like they interpret it anyway, that dream as Joseph dominating over them. I thought that was really interesting. But the key here is that Joseph was merely just telling them the truth, and sometimes the truth is difficult. And that's really what the message for us was from this. It's not only the beginning of the story, but it's an important message for us that if we are people of the truth, sometimes people are going to respond poorly. Sometimes there's going to be consequences. And we see that in all different areas of life, whether it's sharing the gospel or whether it's kind of standing firm in some issues that we see very clearly as believers, but issues that parts of our culture are kind of moving away from, but we still really believe are true. So that was the first point, that sometimes there's going to be consequences for being a people of truth. And the second point was that if we want to be people of truth, we have to be good listeners. We have to listen to what God is telling us. We also have to listen to what's going on around us. Joseph's brothers did not listen to the message that their brother was bringing them from God. Instead, they were so busy hating him and rejecting him that they missed the message of what was going to come in the future. And so we want to be good listeners to God's truth, both when we open up his word, but even just in our lives, when people talk to us, when we need to listen to what they're saying so that we might have a better understanding of ourselves and kind of humbly see what God might be showing us. Even if someone means something for ill, we sometimes need to see if there's some truth in it. That even if we need to not be burdened by kind of a mean-spirited comment, but like, is there any truth in that? Can I keep that truth and kind of throw out the mean-spiritedness of that comment? It's really important. And so you're going to talk a lot about those kind of questions in your sermon discussion guide this week. What it means to be a people of truth. Are we tempted sometimes because of the consequences to that truth? What are the challenges we face because of that? And then how do we become better listeners so that we could hear what God is showing us in our everyday lives? It's a lot, but it's part of being a Christian and part of the growth process that God has us through. And that God is working in all these situations to bring about something good, to bring about his good, to bring about his truth, to bring about his world. And we get to be part of that. Anyway, hope you have a great discussion.